supporting countries, and it cannot have any more than 6 objecting countries. So if 7 object, it doesn't become a proposal. But if only 6 object, I think it's 6. If only 6 object, then it could still go ahead.
I don't get it, Steve. Just so we have the CPG
Yes.
group. This is the preparatory for the ITU.
Yeah.
And if one country disagree, you don't have opposition.
In CPG, you have to have 6 objections. 6 countries have to object.
So what is the level under CPG?
Underneath that, it's the project teams.
Project team?
Yeah, CPG. So the preparation for 1.1 and 1.2 is done in CPG Project Team D.
CPG Team D.
Yeah, PTD, Project Team D.
CPG Team D. Yes.
Yeah. And within the
what's the difference just between Team D? It's a smaller.
It's a smaller group, and it's focused on the detail of the technical issues. So they can bring material up to CPG. So we regularly update the CPT brief and send that to CPG, and CPG can give us guidance. But for normal working, so like preparation for this meeting, the project team does the technical work, and we agree on European inputs to this meeting, and it goes straight from the project team into this meeting, and it's submitted by one member of CPT, and it has footnotes that says it's been developed in the framework of CPG PTD.
Steve, just can you make my life easier by sending me any document?
I've got I can send some
just
some of this. There's some rules and procedures of the CPT.
Yeah.
That I can send. I can point out which are the important bits.
Yeah, please.
But basically, what it means is that if a paper is developed in PTD and submitted to here, that meant everyone in PTD agreed.
But I don't get it. So this country, those 6 countries that object at the higher CPG, why didn't they disagree at this?
Well, not every country attends.
Why? Is it not allowed, or is it?
It's their own decision. And sometimes they decide.
Or they don't have financial resources.
It may be cost. It may be their resources for the number of people that they have in the organisation. They may not be able to send enough people to different meetings.
In which cases can European countries violate the CEPT position?
If it's a CUPT position, then if it is a CUPT position, you need to, if you're going to hold a different position, you need to notify the CPG chairmanship and alert them to that fact. And CPT then has some procedures that say that you really should avoid speaking against the CPT position, even if you don't agree with it. You should be more sort of proposing your own position and avoid directly criticising CPT. And also that you should work within the CPT coordination meetings to see where there's an opportunity for compromise between your position and the agreed CPT position.
So, did it happen before?
It happened on 800 megahertz actually.
So 100. You mean
800 on 790 to 862.
You mean in the WRC 2007?
07, yeah, where CUPT had developed a position that says that band should not be considered at 07. It should be put back to the following conference, and UK thought actually we can make a decision at WRC 07. So we had to go through that procedure of notifying the CPG chairman, saying the UK disagrees with this, and we will be putting in our own paper to the WRC, which says that we think the WRC should decide.
And you were right.
And it went our way, yes, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
So We actually, the outcome was slightly different to what we proposed, but it was more or less what we wanted.
One interesting document that I'm reading is UK report on WRCs.
Yeah.
So the few countries do that: Canada,
Yeah.
UK, and of course the US.
Yeah.
It's very insightful. So, what do you think of the influence of European Commission over SIPT positions?
It's pretty strong, actually. The European Commission is very active on spectrum matters, and they have quite a strong influence on development of CPT positions. So yeah, it's quite a strong influence there.
Just some SIPT member just told me that sometimes we promote positions that we are not convinced of, but it's EC.
Yeah.
Is that right?
In my view, no. I think that the Commission has. So the Commission has a procedure for developing these, and that procedure requires the agreement of the member states anyway. So if it's say a mandate to CPT, or it's a Commission the views on the agenda items, that's usually been through that procedure where the member states have agreed with it anyway. So I think there's general agreement if it's a position the Commission's proposed.
I will tell you a statement, and please tell me if you agree or disagree with that or want to modify. Just in the light of SIPT performance in the last WRC, and in the light of the 700 mega issues, do you see the performance of SIPT and ITU in decline?
No, I don't think so. I think CEPT responded in the way that it had to 700 megahertz. So it had to effectively say that it had difficulties when the issue was introduced. It didn't really have a choice, and it worked a lot behind the scenes in CPT coordination meetings to get to a position where it could reach a compromise, and that's a compromise that all the CPT members were able to sign up to. So it's not an easy process, but it was a process that allowed us to reach compromise.
You just mentioned that you didn't really have a choice. You have 50. How many SIPT countries? 50.
Yeah, but we'd established a position that the time to discuss additional spectrum for IMT was at the WRC 15 conference, and that 12 was not the time to discuss it.
Yes.
So we'd established that position. So we had to object when people said, here's a proposal for additional spectrum at this conference.
I understand, but it just why you didn't. I understood you don't have a choice of agreeing or a choice to object.
Because we'd set and agreed a CPT position before the conference. We had to follow that position
to object to
which meant to object.
So you didn't have a choice.
You have to follow the CPT.
You have
position.
to object to the 700 mega issue.
Yeah.
But eventually you reached a compromise.
Yeah. Which meant that we actually modified the CEPT position during the conference.
But why did you agree to reach a compromise? Was it balance of power?
What would have been the benefit?
Of what?
There would be no benefit to the CPT in refusing to compromise, because it's a WRC. You have to reach you have to get some kind of outcome. So what would be the alternative? the alternative might, well, I guess if necessary, things can come to a vote. And that's quite rare at WRC. It's far better to, and a vote is always unpredictable. So it's far better to actually sit down and talk about compromise and talk about what because these were these were legitimate spectrum requirements that were in that were in that contribution that said that we need the 700 megahertz bands for these reasons. Now, it would have been very bad of CEPT, especially because there was the issue of some of the countries that were doing it said the reason is because we're a developing nation, we need it for our broadband infrastructure, and also the 800 megahertz band. We can only use, in some cases, they could only use 16 megahertz of that. So, it would seem wrong for CEPT to say to those countries, we refuse to allow you to use your spectrum in this way. It would not bring any benefit to CEPT to say that. So
excellent. It's 6 and
it's we need to get back.
Yeah. But would it be possible to continue? Just
Well,
I may
just
need
for
like
a short-
20 minutes.
I can't remember. I really need to be back at the meeting.
No. I don't mean now.
Yeah.
No. I'm going with you.
Yeah.